So this film was already made even before Pawan came on board, right? So how did you guys fund it, and it was how did this all thing fall in place?
See, we had some other plans. So when this lockdown happened, we pretty much showed that we can't shoot anything like we used to do before with all the restrictions and guidelines government has issued. So keeping all that in mind, so we thought, let's make a movie completely inside a house. So with very less characters and very less crew members. So that's how it started. So we immediately wrote a script, shot a film, got a team together, and shot a film for 15 to 17 days.
What are the challenges of making this film within this four characters? I think the third, I saw the character, there's a fourth character is not seen in the trailer.
Yes.
The biggest challenge is shooting in a single house, in 2 BHK house.
First of all, it was a challenging to go out and shoot a movie. To think of shooting a movie itself a biggest challenge. Then getting a team together and keeping that team safe throughout the movie shoot. Again, everything was challenging during the shoot.
Okay.
Yeah, and finding a house was again a big challenge. So after
what was so challenging about finding a house?
Nobody was ready to rent a house. They were all afraid.
Shooting a film, so nobody letting us to in. So that's the biggest.
So luckily we found one house, but even their neighbors were not happy that we were shooting around them.
Okay.
So so we had
we convinced them. Somehow we managed.
So we quietly.
What are the safety procedures you had in place while shooting this?
We social distance and we sanitize the house twice a day.
It was a crazy experience actually.
And we used to drink kashaya every morning before shoot starts.
We had set some rules for ourselves, like everyone should wear a mask inside the house, except the actors in the scene. So they were all wearing masks, gloves.
It's something new. We never done this before.
Sanitize the house every day. Before and after the shoot. Instead of tea and coffee, we used to serve them kashaya. It was a crazy experience.
During this period, what kind of equipment or cameras did you use? Got what you wanted in terms of crew, in terms of equipment?
Yes. Since we are working with very less crew members, everything was limited. We shot the entire shoot with 3 lights, because more light means more crew members, more light men and all.
And you need a generator also. If you need generator, then
you need equipment wise, it was very limited. Only 3, and most of the scene we shot with natural light. So with 3
the camera
we use is Alexa.
We used Alexa camera
because we don't want to compromise the quality. So that's why we use the higher cameras
with very less lights. It was very challenging for DOP.
Okay. What was the spark for this? Please.
Even DOP, he didn't have many assistants. So nobody has any assistants. Since we have only 15 members, we used to do everything. Everyone has to do everything. It was like that.
So what was the spark for this film that turned into this story screenplay? What was the idea?
Again, lockdown. When lockdown happened, I think our industry is the most affected. So we had only 2 options: either sit at home, wait for the situation to settle down, or take up this opportunity, take up as a challenge and go out, do something.
Something relatable.
So that's when we thought, let's not sit at home. Let's go out and do something. So that's how it started. Initial idea.
So any production lessons that you learned while making this film?
How to shoot a movie in a small cramped space.
That
was a big lesson.
You think that going forward that you don't need such a massive production?
Who doesn't want to shoot in exotic locations?
It's depending on the concept, I guess. So the concept required the house. In maybe another concept required big production house also. It depends on the subject.
We also would like to shoot in foreign locations with big stars.
Okay, did you guys have any reference point for this film while doing it?
This point we don't have any reference.
No, we didn't have any reference. So that's what. Again, it was a challenging. We didn't have any reference. We tried to search for it.
Yeah.
We couldn't find anything similar to that.
I just wanted to ask you, what was that one thing that you liked that immediately impressed to put your name behind this film?
Yeah, so Nagbhushan and I have been working together. We discuss stories and what we're doing for a long time. We have done a couple of comedy sketches together. So when the lockdown started, I told these directors also. I think every filmmaker was wondering how to creatively express themselves at lockdown time. So I'm sure every filmmaker thought, let me do something sitting at home, finally, or out of those pressures of to script something as per market needs or anything. So even I was doing something like that. So I was trying to, as the 21-day announcement happened, I remember telling my wife, who's also an actor, that let's do something at home. Let's take this and do something experimental. And then Nagbhushan said after, mine didn't go anywhere. We just discussed, and also that's where I think you have to really appreciate what these guys did, because it's very easy to think of doing it, but what they eventually achieved in those constraints. So when Nagbhushan said he's done something, it's funny. I think he sent the copy to me sometime around October or November-ish last year, around that time. Where the rough cut was ready. So for me, Nagbhushan also, and also these guys, I know them only project more closely. I had only seen their work before. I felt the kind of humor that they bring in, it's all that above the belt, very clean, you can watch it with your family, you still have great laugh, and it's intelligent. It's not the humor which is trying to spoon feed the whole comedy aspect. Nothing. It's very clean and intelligent. So that's the kind of humor I like. And I was shooting for my Telugu web series, and that's when this link came in. So I couldn't watch, but because my wife is also Bhushan's friend, so I said, "Listen, this guy's done something. Why don't you guys watch?" And apparently, my daughter, who's I didn't expect her to sit and watch. I thought only my wife will watch and just share her thought. But my daughter has become a big fan of two characters in the film now, and she keeps imitating them and all that. So when that response came in, I was quite amazed that wow, it's connecting to a 7-year-old, so there must be something. So when I saw it, it immediately impressed me on those lines, that it's very rarely in today's time where we see comedy which is fun and yet very clean. It's like you can just have a great laughter with your entire family and it still works.
Pawan, just coming back to you, and you are one of these rare success stories where you, from independent filmmaker, including crowdfunding, you have moved into this mainstream, right? So, can you give us an idea what is the indie film scene in Kannada cinema right now?
Indie film scene, I think Kannada films, I look at it as the majority of them are doing independent films, maybe of different quality, but it's not really the mainstream films. The mainstream films are a handful, but there are many voices, because I think before the lockdown, there were 150 plus films that got sent to Canada, which means that there are so many people trying to just make films. Of course, there might be films that were made by amateurs where the quality didn't strike, but the desire to voice to make something, to tell a story is very strongly there, and they're all figuring out how to do it without a big studio backing them. So if you just look at the quantity, the attempt to do it is definitely there. Slowly, a lot of us who probably have picked up a lot of skills over the years, we've been trying to share all the tips, or share our learnings to say, how can you better your storytelling art? How can you, we know that now that you have the zeal, now that you have that whole passion to say it, now how can you better your art in the thing? I think it's slowly happening, and Ikkat is one of the great, for me, Ondu Mottiya Kathe was an independent film, very well made and very artistically, beautifully made film. So when I happened to stumble upon it, I was very proudly there to present it and take that film as much, to all we made it premiere and all that. And I would say Ikkat gave me the same feeling that, it's a bunch of creative guys who independently, without any producer, any actor forcing anything upon them, narrated a story. And so hence, with whatever reach I can bring in as a filmmaker and a producer now, I felt that I should back them up.